prison population, I think, is generally very, very fertile ground for the recruitment of these extremists.
The more political Islam, the more extreme forms of Islam, I've been watching that phenomenon for 30 years. I knew what was happening in the prisons for years, right? And I knew that nobody else was really watching. I mean, just as a rule, everybody has been sleeping. And then no one's paid attention to the Islamic activists that have fed off the discontent of the young black males in the prison.
In fact, the former chaplain of the New York Department of Correction has been caught on tape saying some extremely radical things.
Brothers, be prepared to fight, be prepared to die, be prepared to kill. It's a part of the deen, and this ain't your brother just saying this. This is history, this is Quran, nobody can deny it.
Islamic chaplains that go in and out of the prisons across the country. Let's assume that most are decent, law-abiding American citizens who pay their taxes. Then you got a few who are on some more extreme stuff.
You think that there's no terror in Quran? It's called the al-Jihad. Read it in the 56th surah of Quran. There's no lack of translation. There's no mistranslation. There's no one shape says one thing. No, it's very clear. When you fight, you strike terror into the heart of the disbelievers.
There is virtually no attempt being made to prevent radical imams from addressing a literally captive audience and turning them into radical Islamists, and these aren't necessarily Muslims. These are people who are converted in prison.
About 18% at the last count of prisoners in New York State are Islamic.
The narrative of radical Islam would appeal to anybody locked up anywhere who feels that he has been unjustly treated by society. What's important to note is that barring some other kinds of interventions in the prisons, this will grow. This will grow.
Isn't it time for the unbelievers to discard these incoherent, illogical beliefs, theories, and conjecture? Isn't it time for every Christian, Jew, pagan, and atheist to cast off the cloak of spiritual darkness which enshrouds them and emerge into the light of Islam?
Have you ever stopped to think about what would happen if the Islamists won and their version of Sharia law was put into place? All you need to do is look at countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Sudan, and Somalia, and places like the Gaza Strip, and you'll see that those places are human rights disasters.
Across the world, we see that Christians are having a terrible time of it.
Christians in Iraq are deliberately targeted. The past 6 months alone, 7 priests have been kidnapped and 2 of them murdered.
All kinds of countries. We see Christians being persecuted, being oppressed, their churches being burned down, Christians being murdered, sometimes in very large number.
They were in the church for prayer when the car bomb went off.
Where there are Christian minorities and where there are Jewish minorities in any one of the countries where there is an Islamic majority, they are persecuted, they are overtaxed, they have to hide their religion.
Some Islamic mulko mein, misal ke taur pe Saudi Arabia, etc. mein, propagation of any other religion is prohibited. Even construction of any place of worship is also prohibited.
In the homeland of Islam, Saudi Arabia, the Vatican of Islam, you're not allowed to build a church and you're not allowed to carry a Bible. It's both an offense.
और अल्लाह ताला फरमाते हैं सूरह इमरान सूरह नंबर 3 आयत नंबर 85 में क्या इस्लाम के अलावा कोई भी बगैर मज़हब अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला कबूल नहीं करेंगे। तो दीन के मामले में हम जानते हैं इस्लाम ही सिर्फ सही दीन है, इसीलिए हम दूसरे दीन का प्रोपगेशन अलाउ नहीं करते।
Look at the Taliban when they got into Afghanistan. They put out a fatwa to destroy the Buddha statues. That were there for hundreds of years and they were very valuable.
the Islamo-fascists who are attacking the world want to impose their beliefs on the world.
Not many people are aware of the fact that in Iran you'll find the so-called modesty police patrolling the streets. If women are caught wearing the wrong clothing, they could be fined or even arrested.
To women entering this shop in Tehran, a message saying all clothes sold here have been approved by the police. The length and size of coats, nothing too short, nothing too tight, and mostly in black. Women who shop here know there's no risk of getting a warning or being arrested for indecency.
من هؤلاء الذين يقررون لي ماذا يجب أن أكون عليه؟ لماذا تعاملوني كسيدة كأنني ناقصة الهوية وهنالك دائما صوت ذكوريا يقرر لي ما يجب أن أكون عليه؟
As a woman, if you, and all individuals are different, but if you are an individual woman with a strong character and you rebel against this kind of life, you run more than anyone else the risk of being beaten. Abused, your spirit being killed by your own family, by your own loved ones.
ولا بد أن نعلم أن الضرب عقوبة شرعية لا يملك إنسان أن ينكره لأن الذي شرعه هو الذي خلق هذا الإنسان.
هو لا شك أن الضرب هو يعتبر وسيلة من وسائل الإصلاح.
قال لي أنا ماني جاي أضربك، أنا جاي أقتلك. ومسك في رقبتي وسدحني على الأرض وبدأ يخنق فيها بنظرات يعني